Okay, welcome everybody to another hashtag Real Talk podcast. This is where we bring you inspiring, motivating, and empowering content to take your life to the next level. Now, every week, Real Talk covers real issues that affect real people who are looking for real answers to their problems. Now, we're going to give you a bonus. Yes, we bring out one every Friday, but also on a Wednesday, we're going to have the GenInvest takeover, and this is when we bring in our special guest and a real good friend of mine, Mr. Gary Edwards. Gary, introduced in case they haven't seen some of the other podcasts that you've been in already.
I'm the founder of Keep On Squirreling, and we have the financial education program where we deliver this to primary schools.
Excellent. Now, once again, this guy has taken the complex and made it simple that 7-year-olds can get the principles of financial education so they can be a success in the future. So we hope that we break down all these myths about money management and being financially secure out the way so you can be a success as well. So we're going to lead into obviously this episode. Now remember, our key thing for the GenInvest takeover of the hashtag Real Talk podcast is for you to raise your financial literacy, your financial awareness, or even your financial IQ. So that's what we're doing. Now, to help you on that journey, we've created an ebook that we're giving away for free, which basically takes 8 principles of core learnings that I truly believe that, and Gary uses some of these principles in schools as well. We talked about that I believe from all the books that I've read, Money Mastery, Rich Dad Poor Dad, the Bible, Richest Man in Babylon, all these key books I've read, okay, and applied myself. These are the core things I think if you master these things, you will be en route to being financially secure, or maybe even financially wealthy, who knows. Okay, so this week we're going to be looking at financial principle number 6, and this is using the power of compounding. Using the power of compounding. Now, some interesting facts. Before we go into the podcast, we always like to give you some interesting facts just so you know where we're coming from and it's not just my opinion or Gary's opinion. All right, but Albert Einstein. Now, if Albert Einstein says something, Gary, it's credible. Okay, this guy's a genius. But he called compounding interest the 8th wonder of the world. Adding, he also then said this: he who understands it earns it, he who doesn't pays it. Oh man, like Gaz, when I heard that, I was like, boom. I was like, I need to find that out. Like, what does he mean?
And the majority of people are paying it.
Yeah, most people, 100%. Yes. And 100%. We're gonna go into because most people will be like, compounding. What's this video about? Do you know what I mean? I wanted to know about properties or something like that. Listen, if you master the power, okay, of compounding, like you will be an earner. Okay, not being abused by the banking system. But here's another thing as well. Warren Buffett said this. Okay, we're not going to go to the full reasons behind it, but Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world, one of the greatest investors of our generation, said this. He says, he understands compounding in a way most people don't. Now, what I mean by that, he took 20% return on investment. Now, most people go 20% return on investment, to shareholders doesn't seem that great. But compounding over 60 years, okay, he took a small amount of money to becoming multi-millions. He took a few $1 million, became a billionaire, the top richest person on the planet at one time, with a couple of million, because he understood the power of compounding. So, let's understand what compounding is, okay? Because it sounds complex. When you first heard about compounding, did you think it was complex?
When you first hear about it, absolutely.
Yeah, you're like, what is this? Now, and why we're not teaching it? I had to learn about algebra and fractions, but if compounding is the 8th wonder of the world, why are we not teaching this? We'll ask you that question in a minute. So, the way compounding works, let's break this down very simply. If you had £1,000, okay, and you are having an interest rate of 1%. Okay, so 1%, you got paid for your £1,000 you put in the bank. At the end of that financial year, okay, you would have earned £10, right? So the following year, based on compounding, you don't take that money out, you reinvest it. That's the purpose of compounding. You take that money, the core capital and the interest, and you put it back in there. You're now going to be earning interest on £1,010. Okay, so that £10 will have 1% on it, and that'll be 10 pence on that £10. Okay, and what happens is that it continues to compound. Okay, so you're earning money on top of money on top of money. Now, it doesn't sound that great when you use that. So let's give you some real numbers that hopefully you'll get excited about and understand why I'm saying to you, you've got to be able to harness the power of compounding. Now, if I was to take £5,000. Okay, so you started saving per year £5,000 at the age of 25. Okay, young. You only look like you're 25. How old are you? You're looking really good. I saw a picture earlier. We took a picture earlier. This guy's getting younger. I don't know how you're doing that. Okay, this guy seems to be getting younger. I won't embarrass you. Okay, he's out there looking.
I'm 36.
Yeah, get it out of the face. This guy's looking younger and younger. But so if you imagine at the age of 25, you started saving £5,000 per year, and we're going to talk about an interest rate of about 8%. Okay, now some people say, well, banks are only paying 3%, but listen, you know, we've seen where interest rates have been that high, and actually historically, if you put your money within the stock market, the average return historically is about 8%. So if you put your money in, okay, and a reasonable assumption of getting 8% within the stock market, by the time that you're 65, okay, 65, so we're gonna have 5,000 multiplied by 40, okay, but what you'd arrive at about £200,000, which is not bad. If you had 200,000 in the bank, would you feel good?
Yes.
Right, so you've saved, you know, without the interest, without the compounding, £200,000, okay? But if you compound, here's the interesting thing. If you use the power of compounding, okay, that £200,000 turns into what, do you think? You already know the answer.
I know the answer.
I already know the answer, okay. Well, what do you think? If I said to you 500,000, would that be good on the power of compound? I think most people would say, yeah, 200,000 to 500,000, that's really. What if I said to you 800,000? You'd be like,
absolutely,
I love that.
Yes.
What if I said 1 million?
People are dancing.
Yeah, people are dancing, right. Okay, well, it's actually bigger than that. If the power of compounding, taking that 200,000 would be worth 1.3 million pounds. Okay, so that's right. So over the course of 40 years, £5,000 a year at 8% growth, compounding will be worth over £1 million, and that's all thanks to compounding. Okay, that's how powerful that is. Now, here's an interesting fact. Now, this was based in America, so I don't know the stats for the UK, but you know, America and the UK tend to follow each other. If I was to say to you, how many people understand the power of compounding? Like we just talked about, like it takes your money from 200,000 to 1.3. Einstein said it's the 8th wonder of the world. The richest man in the world says, I understand it better than most. How many people do you think would actually understand the power of compounding? Gary, do you want to give them the answer? Because you know.
A low percentage.
Yeah.
Low percentage.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, 60% of people don't understand the power of compounding. But here's a question. Who do you think does know it? Who do you think, if most of the population doesn't know it, Einstein knew it, one of the richest men in the world knows it, who do you think knows it?
The wealthy people.
The wealthy people.
The wealthy.
And the banks, okay? And we know the banks are full of rich people, okay? But on a serious note, the banks are using compounding against you in terms of your credit cards, loans, mortgage payments, and things like that. And that's how they're increasing their wealth year on year. Some of the results I'm seeing, what I would ask you to do, go and Google right now, okay, half-year profits last year of Lloyd's in the billions. Profit. Before tax, but still after expenses, billions. Compounding, my friends. They understand the power of compounding. Now, I want to give you another fact about compounding. We talked about the guy who started at 25, okay, and saved until 65. Right, now, compounding works the longer you leave it in and reinvesting, it works. Time. Time works in your favor. So interest and time is the power of compounding. If there was an equation. Now, if you took off 10 years of saving from that same individual, instead of being 1.3 million, okay, it would be just under 600,000. That's the difference 10-year makes of you not saving and reinvesting. Would cost you almost 600 to 700,000 pound in terms of your retirement fund. So, Gary, we have understood the power of compounding. Okay, you're the thought leader. You're the one going into school teaching our next generation how to take care of their money. If two of the world's greatest minds, okay, thought leaders, understand compounding, why do so few of us understand it? That doesn't make any sense to me. I can't understand.
I think there's a few things is because we're not immersed in it, or we don't talk about it at home.
Yeah.
It's not a subject that, we come across often. So because then it's not being discussed at the dinner table at home, because the family not necessarily discussing it, because then if the school's not discussing it, right? Where are then the children, or where are then the adults hearing about it, discussing it, researching it? So that's first of all in terms of the education, home or school. But then investing, or even you talk about compounding, people hear it when they do. It sounds scary. It's complex. It sounds, not for me. And then they hear about all these things of risk,
crazy,
and fraud, and so straight away now they've made it a lot bigger than what it is. So it's a mix of education and scarcity.
And here's the thing, just on that point, you'll hear a lot of people, and we're going to talk dealing with some of these myths, and maybe one of the podcasts that we'll do, like myths that are out there in the financial world. If people talk about risk and managing risk, and I understand everyone has a different appetite for risk depending on you. I'm quite a risk taker, sometimes a little bit crazy, some people would say. But if you're doing something for the long term, guess what? You will have on that, that line, okay, it's not all going to be smooth. You're going to have ups and downs, but over the long term, if you look at properties, you look at, shares, they go like that, okay? Just check the records yourself. You don't take my words. So we're not worried about the peaks and troughs. Those people are the ones who are trying to make a quick buck, okay? But people like Warren Buffett, they're always in it for the long term, okay? Einstein was looking at the long term. Going back to that principle, it was, a guy at 25 to 65. It's not about trying to get a quick rich, make money quickly now. This is about thinking for the long term.
And that's the thing, that's another thing as well, is you can see out there so much now with the microwave culture, want everything right now, and everything that glistens, people want it right now. It's kind of unsexy to wait forever to become the millionaire. So people are saying, 60, 70, 80, millionaire. But they're not seeing is that time will come either way. It will come. And there's also then a bigger thinking than that in terms of generational blessings and thinking about, providing for your children and your children's children. So there's more, and there's various things. So yes, absolutely. So I think that also plays a part. People can see the time and think, well, I don't want it now.
I got a great thing, that an example of, we're not going to share it today, but it is in the ebook, by where if I said to most people, okay, let's use a number that's within a time frame that may be more comfortable rather than 45 years or 40 years. If I said to you, you could have cash flow of £7,000 a year to £8,000 a year, okay, that came into your bank account every year, 40k worth of capital. So it's there if you sold your assets, 2 properties, okay, and savings of £15,000. So £15,000 that you could access at any time, 40,000 that you can access but you have to sell your assets, but £8,000 coming in after 10 years, and all you've got to do is save £200 a month, less than £200 a month, okay, would you do it? 100%. Most people would, if you imagine you started at 20 and by the time you're 30 you had 2 properties. Or if you started at 30 and you started at 40, these things are all possible through the power of compounding. But you've got to, grasp that. So obviously, you talked about, because we're not having it. So whose responsibility, and we talked about this before. Okay, whose responsibility is it to teach the masses the 8th wonder of the world?
I think both the home and the school. I really, and when I was talking about school now, right, as you know, children, money management behaviours, statistics are showing coming from the age of 7. So I'm going to be saying primary schools and then also the home, but then that also means that the parents as well as the schools need to be educating themselves on financial education, on being able to deliver money management, or at least have conversations around the topic.
Perfect. And this is one of the things that we talk about. Listen, and I'll say it again and again, I'm going to say on every podcast, it is your responsibility to take care of your financial future. Okay, we are living in a society now that the governments will not give you a public pension. By the time I get to 65, 70, you won't have access to it. Okay, so if you haven't got a private pension, you're not going to have that. So who's going to take care of you? And who's going to take care of your children? And people always say, I'd love to leave something for my children. Do you know the best thing that you can leave your children, in my opinion? I always do think, if I could leave my kid a house or da-da-da. Actually, if I can train them on this, to be wise with their money,
Wisdom, yes.
I think that's a great thing that you can give your child. I really do believe that. And that's you can leave a legacy like that, as well as finances, leave a legacy. So obviously, look, the one thing I would say, just on what Gary's just saying about passing it to the masses, please, this guy's got an educational program. I'm not trying to, this is a free podcast. I'm trying to give you something for free. But if you're a school teacher, if you know something, if you're a parent, you should be saying to your school, I want this guy in my school. I'm just saying, you can pay me later for this, okay? But this is really on my heart. But you should be saying, this guy and his education should be in school so my kids can know better, okay? Because we're trying to help you, and this guy's trying to help the next generation. So you should be doing that. And please, if you're watching this podcast, share it with someone. Let someone else understand the power of compounding, okay? So we talked about, obviously, the power of compounding. And what I want to do, Gary, now is say, what's some of the things that we can do? I'm very much about these podcasts, yes, give you the education so you have the revelation of, what I need to know. And this is a principle you've got to master, okay? If you don't master this, okay, the banks will master you in terms of debt, okay? And that really leads to saying, what are the things that you would say people should be doing? What do you think people should be doing? Actions, like now you know about compounding. In your opinion, what do you think people should be doing, once they switch this off and they go, right, that's what I'm going to do?
First of all is look at your finances.
Yeah.
Get your finances in order.
Yeah.
Okay. People need to get their finances in order.
Yeah.
Okay. Then it's that you want to be keeping some money. Okay. You need to be able to keep money. You need to have money to then go, right, okay, well, I'm going to put that aside so I can take advantage of compounding. So I need to be investing, if that makes sense. So once you've got to, let's just say now, you've got to a place where your finances are in order and you're keeping some money. Okay, you then need to be exploring, educating yourself on somewhere to invest your money.
Perfect.
But what I would say is, make sure that you do your due diligence, make sure you research, get yourself a mentor, role model, coach, someone succeeding in that area, fully study. But while you're doing that, put money into your invest pot, put money into your invest pot. You need to be putting money aside for when you are ready and you've chosen where you're going to be investing your money.
Perfect. I love
that's absolutely key. So first of all, you need to look at your accounts. I know Denzil, within your program for adults, you guys very much the big thing about keeping on track of your money on a daily basis.
I look at
have a look. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm monitoring my money every single day. And the reason I say this is that, if you imagine if you ran a company that was like 20 million, where would you look at the money? You look at it every day. Have we made sales? What's going out? But in your own finances, you look at it once a month. And then you're surprised when you've got no money. You should be looking at your money every month, every day. Wake up, how much have I got? Because guess what? When you're going down, if you are in a negative, at least then it will stop you from spending. So you're like, wow, this is where I'm at. So
there's an awareness. And that's like, you're talking about habits, financial habits. You're talking about financial balance. So we're saying now, have a look at your money. Right. See where you are. Right. And then we need to get a place to then budgeting. Right. So let's just say then, right. Okay. You've got a budgeting plan in place. You need to be putting some money into your invest account, your investing pot. It's then choosing an area. Now, in terms for children, again, it's putting aside for them and in little invest pot. We talk about the money pot principles now, like they're saving, they're giving in their invest pot. Now I know children this age, they won't necessarily be investing, but it's them putting money into there. But what children can do is invest in themselves through education. So they can take some money out of their invest pot and invest in education, start learning with books and little courses, various things. Now, there are investment accounts for children. There are investment accounts for children.
ISAs and things like that.
Various things that go onto the stock market. And we're not saying, this is not a session for speaking about that. But
the financial advisor, once again, find your financial advisors and things like that.
But even when you're looking at children, first of all, they need to manage their money across their money pots. There's one that's in invest pot. Get them learning now from a young age to allocate money across the various money pots. One of them which will be investing. They can educate themselves, and even as adults, we should be educating ourselves, putting money into your invest account or your invest pot. Know where you want to invest, and in that time, then it's, you're putting your money in there. And what you want to do then, it's about time, as you said, money in there, keep it over a period of time. So that's what I would say. Get your accounts in order. Keep some money.
100%. So you can start, and the sooner you do it. And this is something I would say to you. If you're 20 years old looking at this, you can put away a little amount.
Yes.
Okay, and that compounding effect will work in your favor.
Yes.
But if you're 40 years old, 50 years old, and you're realizing that, wow, you've got to start thinking about putting away more. So in your later years, 10, 15 years, the compounding can work in your favor, but you've got to put more in to be able to get the type of returns that you're looking for. So the key thing I'd say to you is, listen, start early. And if you haven't started as early as you should, go and tell your nephew, go and tell your niece, okay, listen, I've understood the power of compounding, all right? You've got to listen to this. Put your money away. Start saving and never touch it. Put it in, earn interest, reinvest. Put it in, earn interest, reinvest. The other thing that I'd say to you as well, just as a note, is listen, if you've got debt and it's over multiple areas, so you've got a loan that's maybe at 4.5%, you've got a credit card at 11%, you've got a high street card at 17%. Remember, the law of compound is either working for you or against you. On a credit card, it's working against you. So if you've got a high rate, okay, credit card, get that one paid off first.
Yes.
High stack it, okay, and say, right, okay, I'm gonna pay the minimum amount instead of trying to spread it all over 3 cards. Focus on the one that you're paying the highest interest, because that's, from a compounding standpoint, is destroying you.
Late payments on top of each other.
Nightmare. So get rid of the high paid one. Once you pay that, restack it onto the next one, restack it onto the last one, and get rid of that debt, because it's not working in your favor, it's actually working against you. Okay, so listen, we've talked about compounding today. It's a complex one. Okay, so hopefully you've got it, but it is the 8th wonder of the world. The financial principle is this: you've got to learn how to harness compounding. Okay, that's something that you've got to master. So thanks for joining us. Remember, obviously, you've got the free ebook that you can download from the website, 38 pages, really giving you all these principles to support you going from wherever you are now to financial security, maybe financial wealth. Also, for the first person who comments, gives us a feedback, we will send you the free financial planner, okay, that allows you to set out your budgets, very much what Gary said, and allow you to manage your money on a day-to-day basis, so you can see where you're at, where you're going, and things like that. So that's what we want to give to you. Gary, I know, we always talk, I'm always raving on, but you've got to get this into school. So Gary, what can we give to the teachers out there?
Yeah, so if you're a head teacher for a primary school and you have your head teacher events, your consortia that you meet on a regular basis, we can offer you a free presentation. We can do that. Now, in terms of the schools, children themselves, we do have Boom Boom Pow.
Boom!
Yes, taster assemblies from the full program, which are great fun. The children learn a lot just from the assembly themselves.
Excellent. How can people, if they want to get in contact with you in particular and keep on squirreling business, how can they get in contact with you?
Okay, right, you can head to the website, keeponsquirreling.com. You'll also find on there our social media links.
Excellent. So remember, subscribe on iTunes and SoundCloud if you haven't already, so you make sure that you get these podcasts every Wednesday, and also the other Real Talk podcasts that come out on a Friday as well. Please leave us your comments, let us know what you think. It's really important to us because we really want to make a difference. And remember what we said, it's time that you take responsibility to secure your financial future. It's your responsibility, and if you need to do something today. So God bless you, and we'll see you soon for another podcast. Bye-bye.